So in the last few weeks, President Donald Trump has been pressing Ukrainian leader Zelensky pretty hard. Basically, he wants Ukraine and Zelensky to give the United States back all of the money that we have been giving them to fund this ongoing war with Russia. Now, Zelensky has been turning down some of the negotiations, primarily the rare earth metals that the United States was trying to get. Zelensky has now turned that down, but Donald Trump is not going to accept that. He is going to continue to press forward with, you're going to give us our money back, whether you like it or not. And if you don't, it's going to go bad for you. And Zelensky knows this. So President Donald Trump is looking to other means and methods. There are other things that are valuable there that Ukraine can offer us. It is true that many of the European countries were offering money to Ukraine, but in the form of loans. And while we had our inept leadership in Biden, we were just giving money away for essentially free. Now, this wasn't always done. There was weaponry and things like that as well, but we weren't securing any of it. Check out this answer he's given here. This was just the other day.
Would you support Zelensky ceding territory or exchanging territory in any agreement to end the war?
Well, he's going to have to do what he has to do, but, his poll numbers aren't particularly great, to put it mildly. He's got a country where, it's been savaged and attacked, and he's got an army that's been very, very brave, actually, despite the fact that, we've given him, in my opinion, $350 billion. That's what the real number is. You don't hear that number. And Europe has given, in my opinion, $100 billion. And they've done it in the form of a loan. And I have a Secretary of Treasury right now who's actually quite brave. He's over in Ukraine on a train. And there's a lot of things happening around that train that aren't so good. And he's going there to get a document done where we're going to be assured that we're going to, in some form, get this money back, because we're putting up far more money than Europe, and Europe is in far more danger than we are. We have an ocean in between. Europe has nothing in between. They have in between, they have Ukraine in between. So wait a minute. So, as you know, Europe is putting up money, and they're getting it in the form of a loan. And the United States under Biden didn't do loans. They just handed money every time somebody walked in from Ukraine. They just handed them money foolishly. This should have never happened. It should have never started. And once it did, other things should have happened. Other things should have taken place. So we're getting security on our money. We're going to have it secured by, they have rare earth, and they have oil and gas, and they have a lot of other things. And we're asking for security on our money.
So does it mean you are not sending any more
They've agreed to it. Ukraine has agreed to it.
Does it mean you are not sending any more aid to Ukraine?
No, we are, but we want it secured, and the money is going to be secured.
Now, there's something here that really impresses me about President Donald Trump. See, if I was in his position, I don't think I'd be dealing with Zelensky too much anymore. I don't think that I would even say to the press here that the United States is going to continue to give them any more money. I would be like, we are done with this. We are done with this war. The funding is over. But Donald Trump doesn't do that. And this is something that makes him really great. In the midst of an individual who I do think has been taking advantage of the United States. Now, granted, this is a historically complex situation, but in the last few years, Zelensky has definitely been taking a lot of money from the United States of America with really nothing in return. If it were me, I would say I'm done. But President Donald Trump doesn't say that. He says, you know what? If you want the money, we're willing to give you the money, but you're going to secure it. So he's always thinking America first. You're going to pay for this, and America is going to end up making out on this. Now, that doesn't mean that Donald Trump wants this war to continue. More than anything, he wants this war to end, and that's, in fact, what he's going to try to do with this entire thing. He's going to try to get America's money back probably first, and then he is going to try to solve the situation through the negotiations. If you solve it too quickly through the negotiations, you probably never secure the money for America. But one of the reasons why I'm really not a fan of Zelensky right now, some of his latest press conferences, some of the things he says like this.
Thing that President Trump said this week. He did not say yes when he was asked if he sees Ukraine as an equal member in the peace process. He did say later that Ukraine would have a seat at the table. Have you been given any assurances that Ukraine will have an equal seat at the negotiating table?
So I will never accept any decisions between the United States and Russia about Ukraine. Never. And our people, never. And our adults and children and everybody. It can't be so. This is the war in Ukraine.
I'm going to continue this on here in just a second, but he already knows he messed up because I will never accept any decision made between the United States and Russia. Now, granted, I definitely think historically the United States has helped cause a lot of the problem that's going on between Ukraine and Russia, especially with a lot of the decisions we've made with NATO. Regardless, the United States has given them hundreds of billions of dollars. The only reason there is a Ukraine still in the last couple of years is because of the funding and support that has been freely given over to ridiculous amounts for this ongoing war. And now he is saying, I'm not going to listen to any decision that's made between the United States and Russia. He realizes he's made a problem. Now watch him try to like backtrack this and sort of squivel out a little answer that he thinks is going to help save him.
Against us, and it's our human losses. And we are thankful for all the support, unity between USA, in USA, around Ukraine support, bipartisan unity, bipartisan support. We're thankful for all of this, but there is no any leader in the world who can really make a deal with Putin without us, about us.
The reality is if the United States and Russia did come to some sort of agreement, and Zelensky was sort of pushed against the wall here. It's like, this is what's going to happen. You're going to end up having to give up this. Russia's going to do this. Whatever it is that they come up with, Zelensky really is going to have to make the decision to go along with that. If he does not, like, he is not in any position to continue to hold off Russia without support from the United States of America or these European countries. I think he's trying to take a place of power here when he doesn't have one. And so when Donald Trump sees things like this and doesn't just write him off immediately, those are things that tell me that this is a man who is willing to look at somebody who does not really seem like he's for the United States of America. But Donald Trump is still willing to say, well, we'll continue to send stuff over there if you pay the United States of America and the American people. On another note, Zelensky has been saying that he believes that Russia is going to be using tactical nuclear weapons. This was the response from Russia.
President Zelensky said that Russia plans to use tactical nuclear weapons.
He says many things.
And
depends on what he drinks or what he smokes. He says many things.
He says many things. Depends on what he drinks or what he smokes. Listen, I'm not down with all of the decisions the Russian leaders make, but sometimes there are some clips that do make a lot of sense. And I do think that Zelensky definitely says a lot of things. And he's saying what he thinks he needs to say in order to impress the person he needs to impress. So if he's looking for money from England, or he's looking for money from the United States of America, or he wants to say something towards Putin, that is coming to an end. The leash is really short right now. I do hope that Donald Trump is able to secure our money first, then secure the negotiations, which will work out for the United States. If Kamala Harris won that last election, the United States of America would be in this war for another 4 years, more money, probably hundreds of billions of more dollars, and there would be so many more lives lost. I do not foresee any way that after 4 years that this conflict is still ongoing. What do you think about this? Leave your comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.